Today's flight, Chris and I take the Trinidad to Triad Airport, the secret lair of RH and AG, hosts of Opposing Macy's podcast. Holland Landing Air Park has a very short runway, less than 2,000 feet. When I first got to Trinidad, I asked the manager to mark the halfway point down the runway. So the rule of thumb is, if you don't have 70% of your liftoff speed, then you abort. So my liftoff is 70 knots, 70% is 49, so at about 50 knots, if I don't have that speed, I'm going to abort the takeoff. Here comes the white line as we accelerate on the takeoff roll.
So here we are, 6,000 feet level. We've spoken with Toronto. We're expecting higher when we pass Waterloo. This is Captain Juliet Bravo.
Good morning, everyone.
And First Officer Charlie Popper. We are heading south on a secret mission to try and establish where opposing bases lair is. They have promised to light some signal fires when we get within the vicinity. It's a beautiful day. We did come up through some IFR, which I find witchcraft because I'm just a VFR guy. So I'll give you a bit of a lookout. I don't have an ND filter on, but at least this way you'll get to see the propeller flashing by. It's still turning, which is a very good thing. And we are somewhere over Canada, and I am trying not to break my shoulder off as I turn around in this airplane. Today, I have the luxury of flying in Juliet Bravo's Trinidad TB20, which has all sorts of color screens and things that I'm not quite familiar with, but he seems to know what the hell's going on. And it has an additional lever, one more lever than a 172, so I am not quite sure.
Actually, two more levers.
Ah, yes. Yeah, but I don't ever want one of those. I do actually, but you know. And I noticed that it actually has an airspeed indicator that isn't based on an hourglass.
Very nice, very
nice. There's no moving sand. So, Juliet Bravo, tell us a little bit about your aircraft today.
Well, this is Trinidad, like CP said, and 4-seat, very comfortable. And we're currently cruising at about 152 knots true. So we're at 6,000 feet, which is kind of the sweet spot between here and 10,000. And our ground speed is 156. We have our tailwind from the north, and we're expecting a little higher once we get past Waterloo Airport. And the tailwind at 10,000 was something like 23 knots, so we're looking to see if we can get a little bit of that.
Yep.
Push us down to the secret Triad lair and see if we can find the aforesaid airport.
Assuming they actually exist.
It may be a wild goose chase.
So here we are, 2.25 hours into the mission. It's a beautiful day. We're just a few feet above some clouds.
Wisconsin 3838, join the runway 23 right localizer and your present heading.
And join the localizer on this heading, Wisconsin 3838.
Pushing 5670, traffic now at 10 o'clock and 5 miles.
We're now starting our descent into Triad from 10,000 feet, and with the tailwind and the descent we picked up speed to 177 knots.
Tower, Blue Streak 670, following that traffic.
Looking for the signal fires.
Contact line center 128.
Yes,
28.8.
looking for the rising smoke. I was trying to get...
Yep, time to get ahead.
The speed there, no bumpy.
176 knots.
Greensboro Airport site, 12 o'clock, 15 miles.
Resume normal speed, we have the field in sight, Wisconsin 3838.
South 3838, clear visual approach, runway 23 right. You're following a RJ 7.
Another airport just down here.
10 miles, 2,800, still in the base turn, indicating 180 knots.
All right, 23 right, we're number 2, looking for that traffic, Wisconsin 3838.
That must be one of the infamous satellite airports.
Well, there's cigarette.
Yes.
So you had the traffic in sight, or you're looking?
Coke factory.
Wisconsin 3838.
Thank you.
At this point, we were still many miles north of the airport, so this was a simple beginner's mistake, because Triad is not shown on any maps.
490 with you, 4400, sending 4000.
Fairwings 490, Greensboro approach, Greensboro altimeter 3011.
So I've now loaded up the RNAV for guidance, so I can see where the runway extended center line is. Even though I'm not flying and I'm on heading mode.
Yep.
If I had it on nav mode, it would take me to the initial approach fix.
The approach I've entered on the GPS is for a close-by sister airport called Greensboro, but it's not actually Triad. Triad is like Brigadoon. It only appears once every 100 years for those people who want to see it.
Okay, Tower 19-1, Wisconsin 3838.
So tower will be 19.1, right?
Yep.
We can put that in.
Just see what its elevation is.
And field in sight, Spirit 490.
9:30.
Okay, yep, thank you.
Fairwings 490, you said you had the field in sight?
Affirmative.
Fairwings 490, thank you. Clear visual approach, runway 23.
Follow traffic for 23 right, caution white turbulence, and over tower 19-1, 43 Golf 2.
November 37 uniform, you planning on staying low or are you going to want to climb high again later?
37 uniform will stay at 5,500, that's okay.
Number 37 uniform, roger. Maintain VFR 5,500 and advise if you need any changes.
Will do.
Starting off November Charlie Mike, traffic snow factor.
Hello, Charlie, thank you. Okay. 3 green. Three green. Pumps on. Carrier. Bit of a gust there.
32 degrees outside, that's a big difference.
Yeah. I'll take the reverse high speed just because I'm going to let him out.
Charlie Golf, number Charlie Mike, contact ground point 9, or turn right on hotel.
Right on hotel and ground point 9 November Charlie Mike.
Number 622 Papa Mike, Greensboro Tower, fly runway head.
Greensboro Grand, Charlie Golf, November Charlie Mike, off on Hotel 4 and looking for customs.
Charlie Golf, number Charlie Mike, Roger, turn right on hotel and continue via hotel. The customs, I'm not familiar with that. Is that the signature FBO or are you going to the MRO?
No, going to signature for November Charlie Mike.
Charlie Golf, number Charlie Mike, Roger, taxi to signature via hotel, Delta, Kilo, Kilo 1.
Hotel Delta, Kilo, Kilo 1 for November Charlie Mike.
So Charlie Papa and I had a great flight down with a bit of a tailwind. We made it in just over 3 hours, which is really good for that distance. And we thought our hard work for the day was over. But little did we know that Romeo Hotel and Alpha Golf had a little surprise in store for us.
Ready.
We had no idea that they were planning for us to be their first guests on the podcast with a live recording. We had a great time and we were really quite flattered that they set this all up for us. Afterwards we went out for dinner, enjoyed some great local craft beers and some great food. Next morning we're leaving early and AG is going to be on shift. Our trip to Triad had perfect weather, but going back was another story. A system was moving through Ontario and creating all sorts of convective activity. After all, it was May, almost June. So this is what we saw and what we had to plan for. So follow us to see what happens on Mission Triad Part 2.